boat. Just checking the lighting. So, obviously this is an old school night. You know the rules. I'm not even going into them. You guys have been doing this long enough. You know what the rules are. And we're gonna get rolling. And if you saw the thumbnail tonight, my favorite part of that thumbnail was smile, don't make me turn this boat around. It's been a tough couple of days. I mean, it is what it is. It's been a tough couple of days. It's been an ugly couple of days. And it's never fun. And, you know, it probably needed to get done and it needed to be said. And I'm not going to do any more of it tonight. But let there be one clarification before I move on, and I promise I'm moving on. The clarification that I want to get out is this. My problem was just that it was wearing me down. I'm not upset with anybody on the lifeboat. I don't have a problem with how any of this is going. The only problem I had was that it was wearing me out. That's really what it was. You can please some of the people all of the time. You can please all of the people some of the time, but you can't please all of the people all of the time. You know, it's there's something to that. And what's the other one? You can't please everyone, all right? So you got to please yourself. The garden party, I believe, is that too. No, but make no mistake, I'm cool with everybody on the boat. I really am. It was just that it was causing me to burn the candle at, if it's possible, to do that at more than two ends. That's what I was doing. Let's forget all that and move on. There are some very cool things going. Mark's going on vacation. He's going to be gone all of next week. I believe, yeah, all of next week. But the following Monday, so not 3 days from now, or was it 4 days from now? But the following Monday will be really the Lifeboat 2.0. That's we're going to be, I don't want to call it a launch because we've been doing this a really long time, but sort of an inaugural, you know, an inaugural new thing. DJ Daddy-O, good to see you, bud. Glad that you're here. I'm glad you all are here. Miss V, Virginia, KP Nordic, Joanna W. I know I'm leaving people out. Seventh Son. Can't leave out Seventh Son. Cemetery. Good to see you, bud. And if I missed any of you, I'm so sorry. I really am. It's kind of gets tough, especially as we get bigger. It kind of gets tough. I don't ever. Niall, good to see you. Yeah. So, hey, Leisure Beast. Good to see you. So tonight there's a show. Obviously, I'm doing it. Tomorrow night is my daughter's graduation, right, in California. So I'm flying out. This is going to be a really big deal. You know, this one's been, I promised this a long time ago to myself more than to anybody else. I have talked about my favorite excuses for doing drugs. And we did a show on it. We all have that pet excuse, that one that we really dig. Because if we pull that one out, no one will mess with us. People will be like, yeah, no, I can see that. You know what I mean? You know, a death in the family, you know, any of the things that are just so tough to cope with that you basically can get away with doing dope if you just, you know, tell people this is the reason why. Well, my favorite go-to was when I got kicked out of my daughter's life. And they basically said, no, we're not letting you anywhere near her. And there was much more to it than that, but that's the general gist. And I got the boot. So that for many, many years became my absolute favorite go-to, right? So, you know, I would just, when people said, you know, you really got to get sober. I'm trying. You know, but since they took my daughter, it's just been killing me. We reconnected when she was about 12, but during that entire time, the previous 12 years, you know, you make promises to yourself. Well, this was one of those situations where I was continually saying to myself, you know, they can push me out of this girl's life, but when she hits 18, there's nothing they can do anymore. And I'll be damned if I'm going to let anybody, you know, get between us at that point. There's not much I can do, up until then. And, then we reconnected when she was about 12 and we've become quite close. But, yeah, for a very long time when I was in prison and when I was out, I was always promising myself that I was going to show up at that graduation. And, you run the scenario through your head 4,000 or 5,000 times. You know what I mean? A soldier in Syria sent me flowers and a teddy bear. Well, that's pretty cool, isn't it? That's downright amazing. Can you tell me what graduation is in the States? Here we call it graduation when you earn a degree. Or does it mean when you leave high school? Yes, here in the United States, actually, we celebrate a ton of them, Niall. They'll talk about graduating from kindergarten. It's usually the first one you hear. And then they'll talk about graduating from elementary school, middle school, high school. And then, you move on and you get the degree. But, yeah, they use that quite often, So, yeah, I am going to her high school graduation. Major, good to see you. Now at the Tommy Bird, good to see you. Now at the age of 18, there's not much they can do to, to keep us separated, so to speak. This is going to be their last hurrah. They're having a dinner for everybody who's important in her life. It's going to be earlier than normal dinner because the graduation is going to be right around dinner time, like, normal dinner time. So, this is all scheduled and, there's going to be a lot of people from basically every single part of the family. And there's a bunch of them because of divorces and remarriages and all that. There's a ton of people. And it has the, things like this have the potential to be really uncomfortable. I remember Niall talking about when he went to the hospital. It was a great example of exactly the same thing. Someone's going to show up with a younger girlfriend. Someone's going to show up with a new boyfriend. My ex-wife will be there with her guy, right? All of these different things that really can just grate on people's nerves. And I was talking to my daughter on the phone, and, long distance stuff, we weren't Skyping or anything else. We were just talking. But sometimes you can hear, today is one of those days. I'm feeling great about my sobriety. I love that. I wish there were more of those days. But I know exactly what you're saying. There are days that it just feels great. But I'm talking to her on the phone, and I could just hear something's not right. And it was pretty obvious to me that something wasn't right. And I said to her, is something going on, something you want to talk about? And she said to me, yeah, we're having the dinner I told you about. And I said, yeah. She said, they kind of freaked out that you're going to be there. And I said, I have no intention of being there. And you could just hear the relief in her voice. I said, no, I'm not going to show up there and trash it, right? This is her night. Now, if everyone else had that attitude, I'd probably be at that meal. And in my previous life, I am obsessing. I am absolutely obsessing. I've never met her in person. Not since she could form a sentence. I'm definitely obsessing. I've been obsessing about this for closing in on 2 decades. But, yeah, so I wasn't going to show up at this dinner and basically destroy, my daughter's graduation night, right? That night probably shouldn't be about me. It really should be about her. So it's one of those situations that, yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable. All the way around, it's going to be uncomfortable. These people really have built me into a fairly good size. Yeah, they've built me into this sort of boogeyman. Anything from the second shooter on the grassy knoll on has just sort of been blamed on me. Thanks, KP. Appreciate you. But, the ceremony itself will be a pretty good time, and I'm looking forward to it. This has been a long time in the making, and yeah, so I'm pretty excited about it. But that's going to mean no show tomorrow night, and then there will be, and Saturday will be a no fly too, because I will be in the air during the 6 o'clock. They've built you into boogeyman captain. I say you just go and boogie for just a little bit. It'll be all right. Yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I really am. And I'm kind of looking forward to playing that role, if you really want to know the truth. You know, when you spend, a couple of decades thinking about this, and like I said, you'd lay in a prison, cell going, I'm going to show up at that thing, well dressed and sort of, to the entire group. And I probably won't do any of that, but I sure planned it, and I'll dress up, do it right. But yeah, it might have been fun, to kind of go there and really make a scene. But I'm not going to do that. Thank you, Joanna. I mean it. Thank you. Sorry, people. It's I'm getting a bad delay here. So, can I get a 5x5? Because on my setups, it looks like I'm frozen. Am I talking to nobody? Can I get a 5x5, everybody? All right, people. So, like I said, not Saturday. There's going to be nothing. Thank you, people. I appreciate it. Good. So at least you're still hearing me. So tomorrow, nothing, and then Saturday, nothing. Sunday, we will be back in the saddle. I will be back in the office. So there's going to be 2 days off, and then the next week is sort of going to be just time to. I don't want to use the word screw around, but it's going to be time to just spend a little time talking to everybody. Everybody sort of getting to know. Probably not going to be putting together really heavy topics or doing anything like that. Just go and chill. Yeah. It's more of a chance for people to come, and if they're having a tough time, to show up and say, this is one of those days, things aren't going well. We can sort of work with people or whatever. The format, of what we do is going to change dramatically. And there may be 1 or 2 shows where I'll put together a subject matter, but let's be really honest, people. Can you think of one I haven't done? You know what I mean? There's so many of these that, in many cases, I've done them 4 and 5 times. But so the entire next week will be just you and me and the crew, and I don't know if we can set up a live stream. We can chat. So, yeah, it's going to just be me and you guys hanging out and having some kind of fun. You going to wear a 3-piece suit? No, I am not. I'll probably wear an open collared shirt and a sports coat. It's going to be hotter than the hinges to hell where this graduation is taking place, and it's outside. So, yeah, but I will dress up. To be sure, I will dress up, and I may party at the Facebook group next to shows. Yeah, there you go. Hostless. You know what, people? As I've said before, you might not even notice. It's hostless. I may go live from the airport. That's one of those things. You know what? I should get you a microphone and let you do some of those shows. I really should. Yeah. What was I saying? I lost my train of thought there. I really did. I lost my train of thought. Absolutely, completely lost my train of thought. Hasn't happened in a long time. I guess I'm not as focused as I used to be. Hey, I'm looking forward to the change myself. Maybe I can be some small part of that from time to time. You know what? Reach out, send us an email. My emails, Mark's, are both in the drop box. If you go and drop down, you can get both of our emails. Shoot us off an email. You got any ideas? You want to be a part of something? You just want to be on that list of people that people can plug into? Anything like that? just fire off an email to us. Definitely a pretty good idea. Oh, what I was saying is, yeah, it's kind of like movies, right? They say that there are, I don't remember whether it's 20 something or 19, but every single movie in the entire world fits into one of 19 categories, right? So whereas there might be a gazillion love stories, it's all the same thing, right? Guy meets girl, girl does this, guy. It's always, you know, sort of a formula. Same thing with the action films, right? You know, you can change the stars, you can do and change the topics, but it's always the same crap. Whether you're watching Fast and Furious, or you're watching Bond, or you're watching anything, everything sort of follows the same kind of a deal, and that's sort of what what it's been. Sort of what it's been with this. I mean, I could probably do 2,000 shows on relapse, right? One or two of them, and I think we've done one or two of them, where you go through the 5 stages of relapse, right? And we can do that. But then the rest of the time, you know, it's just a small variation on that. I think I can narrow that down to 2 categories, either good or bad. These days, you know, I'm blessed. I really am. I'm blessed. I got to a point where I can't watch a movie ever again, right? And to be honest with you, I mean, I was just a lot happier. TV either. Are you burning out on the boat, Captain? We do as addicts tend to burn out. We go all in for a while and then poop out, at least in my personal experience. It's a good question. And I don't think that's the right way to put it. And I'm not bummed out at all that you're saying that, because it's pretty damn logical. That's not what I am at all. This is a really important thing to me, you know? And I think that I got really worn down, right? And like I said, I missed 15 minutes of one show and the following day. And the number of people who reached out and accused me of relapsing or using or getting drunk, it got to the point where I can't take off 2 days, right? If I take off 2 days, people start to, and it's a natural thought. Honestly, that part doesn't offend me. If you reached out and said, hey, I'm nervous, like what you just did, right? Super classy way of asking a question without bumming somebody out. You know, I'll be really honest. I've done it to Mark, right? I have a hard time getting a hold of him for 2 or 3 days, and or something's going on and we just don't seem to be clicking like we usually do. And I say, you know what? With our past, us being who we are, I'm a little nervous. You know, are you cool? You're not doing anything stupid, right? That's really one of those things that, I can take. In fact, I kind of like it. When somebody reaches out that way, you just get the feeling that they care. No, Tommy, I didn't take any disrespect because you didn't come at me weird. That's a perfectly legit question. It really is. And I didn't bum out on I didn't burn out on the boat, and I didn't burn out on the concept of the boat. Doom and gloom. Humor is important, so let's make it remarkable. Niall says, but the subject matter has become overwhelming from all aspects. As the old guys say, doom and gloom. Humor is important, so let's make it remarkable. You know what? And there's a lot to that. There really is. So a lot of what we talk about, I watch the same things over and over. It gives me peace and stability. They actually have a name for, there's a syndrome, and I don't mean it in a bad way, but it's maybe a phenomenon. But there's something with people, and they have a name for this in psychology, that it's exactly what it is. There are people that, they'll get 4 movies and cycle them through every night for the rest of their life. And they don't want to watch anything outside of that. And I think in a lot of ways we live life that way, don't we? Especially as people in recovery. I think you get to a point where you're like, this works, right? This works. So I'm not going to do that. I mean, it may be great, but I don't know if it works. And it may threaten this. And this is good, so I'm not going to go for the great. You know what I mean? I think that happens a lot. Yeah, we all deserve a certain amount of respect. And personally, I respect you and Mark greatly for doing what you're doing here. And I appreciate you for it. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. And I mean that. Yeah, and you know, there's nothing wrong with saying, boy, you didn't relapse on us, did you? Right? Honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. But I got emails that called me a junkie F, and that, you know, they knew I was going to do this. And I'm telling you right now, I'm not talking about trolls. We get tons of trolls, man. I mean, you know, there are people who call for my death on a daily basis on other channels. This is actually if I told you the names of these people, you'd be shocked. Yeah, they were crew members on the boat, and yeah, that's something that I burned out on. Yeah, but the concept, no, and Niall's right. You know, we get on a tear where certain things came up that, you know, kind of needed to be addressed, and as is, you know, sort of what we do here from the very beginning. You know, sometimes what comes up can be very, very lighthearted. Major, you have not had one from me, I assure you. If there's probably 25 emails that I fired off since last night's show, and I got probably 100.5 to go through. I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to do that tomorrow. I got a really good layover. No one looks forward to a layover, but I got a good one. Like, I got a chunk of time that the airplane is going to be halfway between my destination, so I'm going to get an opportunity to get on the laptop and do exactly that. My sponsor doesn't hear from me for a couple of days. He texts me. If I relapse without him, till I answer. If I relapse. Oh yeah, well, and I think that it's human nature. It really is. I hear of mutiny. Boy, I'll tell you something. There are days I pray for mutiny. Honestly, I think that no matter how great it is, that's just not right. The crew should have a clear amount of respect and consideration for each other, for everybody, right? For everybody, whether or not they are in front of the camera or on the other side of the camera. Right? Just a level of respect. When people relapse, we don't bust their chops, right? But even the thought that I might have drove some people insane. And let me make this perfectly clear. If that day ever comes, I'll do it on the air. I'm not kidding. I mean, you think anything better could happen to this show? I'm just keeping it from a big red button standpoint. It would be the best thing that ever happened to this show. Black humor is important. Clowning around is important. A sober person is often portrayed as a lonely, frustrated philosopher. I think the balance can be found in there somewhere. Have you ever seen the show Blackadder? If you haven't, you ought to look it up. It's not made in the States. It's one of the, but I love it. Absolutely one of the funniest shows ever. It's okay, all good. Everybody's here because they want to be here. Yeah, you know, that's what it's supposed to be. That's what it's supposed to be. And we started out with a mission. I think we started out with a good one. And yeah, we lost a little bit of the humor. We did. And I think there's, you know, trying to come up with a subject matter every single day that you can wax eloquently on for an hour just gets to a point where, you know, I would get a text, and the text would be, hey, what's the topic? I'm getting ready to make the thumbnail. And I would be doing something, and that text would come along, and I'm not going to lie to you people. I would go, right? And that's not healthy. That's not where I want to be, because I really do dig this. I really do dig being in front of the camera. Like, every aspect of this is super healthy for me. You know, for a long time, I went and did public speaking, and that has its own sort of addictive properties to it. Now, keeping it real, not a healthy lifestyle, right? Not a healthy lifestyle at all. You're going from one city to the next, to the next, to the next, and you're living on the road. The money's really good, but it's easy. And easy money is, stuff that you don't work for usually is can be dangerous. And it was one of those situations where, hey, 40-foot garbage man, good to see you, bud. Glad you're here. But it was one of those situations that just was not very good for me. And then, so this gives me an opportunity to sort of feel part of that, right? And that's a good thing. We never really went down the road of trying to maximize this for a lot of reasons. We didn't want it to blow up so fast that we couldn't handle it, and we didn't want to lose control, so to speak, over the growth curve and over anything else. And thought that was a pretty good idea. But if we wanted to, I promise you, the things that I got accused of. That would have, if I had just come out and said, hey, people, I relapsed. Or, you know what? I'm going to stop doing Suboxone tomorrow and I'm going to let you film it. Like, that's the kind of stuff that drives the big red button crazy, right? And that's the kind of stuff that goes viral. And I don't have any desire to do any of that crap. I'm not going to manufacture stuff. Humor depends on guests. It depends on others who bring out aspects of you, which has become a large burden, but it can be relatable and not so heavy. Let's be really honest. People in recovery have sort of that dark humor thing going, and on the bright side, we tend to be people that don't get offended real easily. I guess we have thick skin. It probably sounds like I don't because of what I've been saying here for the last 10 or 15 minutes, but. People, I don't share 99.9% of the things that get sent to me. Boy, if you went back to October, November, and December, I was getting 40 or 50 death threats a month. Now I'm down to 5, 6. I'm not really that popular anymore, I guess, and nobody cares. Hello, everyone. Thank you for the encouragement. I went to my first meeting and have 24 hours. Oh, how cool is that? Well done. Roxana, that is awesome, man. 24 hours. You got to get to that first 24, right? That's the beginning of everything. You have to read the situation before you say anything. Yeah, definitely a good call. And sometimes people, especially in recovery, sometimes they fire off at the mouth before they think about it. That's never healthy. Tommy, I don't know. Thank you, but I don't know that it's a strength thing. I'll keep this 100% real and just be really honest, right? One of the reasons that I do this, and one of the reasons that I'm not gonna ever go anywhere else, and one of the reasons that I don't burn out on this, is this to me is like having a couple of thousand people watching me, right? And I don't mean watching me as in watching the show and all of that, but if I was not doing this, I would be, Jason, good to see you. And I started to go down the path of relapse. I don't mean using. I just mean you start to relapse. Somebody in your life may say, hey, what's going on, right? But when you're doing a show like this, you're doing it all the time, and you're really out there, a lot of people will email me and say, hey, what's going on? And if I get 4 of those emails over the course of a day or two, I'm probably not in a good place. Oh, I thought I just got disconnected, but I didn't. You can do whatever you want to do. I really like the format of doing this because it keeps... basically, it keeps me accountable to a lot of people, and that's really worked very well for me. Do what you think in some ways, and I'm grateful for your strength because it's helped me in my situation of sobriety. Nah, I love that. I think that's great. I really do. And I dig this. I dig the format. I dig all of it. And it does keep me accountable, and and I think we're helping people. I really do. I think it's a good situation, for all parties. It's very difficult for some people to do the meeting thing and to get up and talk about it. I mean, we've said it before. Jason, well played, bud. Well played. And this is, I like seeing social media used in this way. I really do. I think it's social media at its best. I guarantee, get 5 addicts chatting in Zoom or Skype, and it will open up the world, not just for you, but but us too. It's hard to feel a part of the family if you cannot see them. It's 40-foot garbage man. I get that, Tommy. I have become a lot less isolated and really got involved with a great community because of you. Oh, thank you, man. It helps that I am around people who care and care enough to call me out if I am. That's awesome, man. That is so cool. That really is cool. You know what? There are addicts that would be happy to do that. There are addicts that would be really happy to do a Zoom call, and we kind of tried to go down that road. That's something that we explored. You're comfortable with it. You know what I mean? And you do a great job with it. But the number of people that want to do it is, even like when we talk about it like this, people go, yeah, I'd love that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'd like to do that. Yeah, I'd like to do that. And then when we actually try to start setting it up and we say, Tuesday night, we'd like you there Tuesday night. More often than not, in fact, almost always, we got the, Tuesday isn't going to work. Maybe Wednesday, and we just kept sort of getting things put off, and it didn't seem that that a lot of people were really comfortable with it. I like it. I like the idea, and we toyed for a while with the idea of we had some stuff available to us that would let us go up to about 35 people at once, which would have really been amazing. It would have really highlighted, the majority of the very faithful members of the lifeboat, the people that are here in day out. But I would thank you, Leisure. Leisure says, please hit the like button and subscribe. I never say that. I really don't. I'm a terrible YouTuber. People, please do hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. It shows us that you enjoy the content, and it really does help the show. Isn't that pretty much what they say? Did I do that okay? And if you never want to miss anything that we do here on the Lifeboat, make sure you hit the bell for notification. That way, anytime we go live, you're going to get that ding, right? So when that drops down, you can do this in several ways. One of the ways you do it is a limited basis. The other is tell me everything, right? And that will be lives, videos, anything like that, right? So thank you, Leisure. But we're exploring the possibilities, trying to get 2 or 3 people. I think if we could get a larger number, like a crap load of people, I think people would be more apt to do it. Because share it with your friends. Yes, share it with your friends. It helps the algorithm. It absolutely does. I think my like button is broken. It is just mine. Can anybody check theirs and let me know? Thanks. Yeah, let them know if that's going on. Yeah, we're going to see. I think the call-in would be a decent try. We're going to see how that works. My dad is big into AA. He does some calls and sponsors many people. He was a heroin addict and an alcoholic for 30 years and all of my childhood. I bet you he would do something like that and share. I'd love that. And if you go back, if you've been here long enough, if not, go back and watch some of the really old shows. And there were people we had on. There were people that came on and told their stories. And hands down, the best shows that we did. Always. Every one of them. I think if you did the top 10 shows on the lifeboat, there wouldn't be one of them that was just me or just Mark. I really don't. All of them were shows where we highlighted somebody from the boat and talked about their sobriety. And there were, Niall was on more than once. There were some other people that, it's tough to tell your entire life story in one shot. Some of the best people you can ever meet in all of life are folks in AA and groups such as this. You know what? There's really something to that. I've said that very, very often, that when you have endured that kind of stuff in your life and you've popped out on the other side of it, one of two things happens. You either become a very bitter person and tough to be around, or you end up in groups like this. Because the really bitter people, I've never really seen them, interacting in these kind of groups. I think that's why they're bitter. You either re-enter into a different society, not the one you were in, but you become part of a new society, or you can go the I'm going to stay sober route. And look, there's always going to be days that are like that. There are going to be white knuckle days for me, for everybody. And if not, thank the Lord or whoever you believe in, because that's really awesome. If you can get through it without any of those days, then that's great. But not for me. Your original videos where you were telling your story got me hooked. You are a gift. Thank you very much, One Nordic. I appreciate that. I really do. It's a nice thing to say. Thank you. I mean that. Thank you so much. Niall, I think it would be amazing if people see each other. We will all be happy to see each other. Try it. It'll take a huge weight from you. Video chatting so you can see my face then. I'm all over it, people. I promise you. It's not something that I would try. Hey, the guy. Good to see you, bud. Not something that people that have lived and have lived it hard. Yeah, Major's right. I mean, the people that, you have a different outlook on life. It's not just that you went hard. You went into a very, very dark place and you found a way out of it. And usually there's a desire to show other people that path, right? And help any way that you can. I think that's something that happens a lot. I might break the camera. Hey, Jason, you know what? Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, right? Besides, we've done whole shows on that. There's a real difference between attractive and beautiful, right? And got to the point in my life these days where I just want to be around beautiful people, right? I don't care about attractive ones anymore. That was cool when I was really young. Been real sick the last 2 weeks. Felt really good today. My voice is still screwy. Well, we're glad that you're here. Really are. We're glad that you're here. You feel good on the other side. Everything's fresh. Yeah, no question. Oh, back to what I was saying. I got there. You would never see me try to keep that from happening. New photo, new phone, broken camera. You'll never see me try to shut that down because Niall's 100% right. Number one, people will dig it. Number two, we're going to be a closer knit group. Every time we use Niall again as an example, right? If you're new to the lifeboat, Niall came on board the boat at a really weird time where we were hypersensitive because we were looking for the death threat squad and the people that were, really hell-bent on destroying the lifeboat. And I'm not being paranoid. Like, they came out and said, we're going to destroy the lifeboat and did videos like that. So Niall came at that time, and I think everybody kind of was on edge anyway. Hold on. No, but I was referring to your life story. You did a bunch of shows with us just talking, but I was referring to, I believe you did the life story in 2 parts, and then we did the Tommy and Niall deal. I think that was a little different. Every day the same, it's different. Don't tell anyone, but I think you need a haircut. I get that a lot. I really do. I get that a lot. But yeah, every time we did one of those lives, so I was talking about Niall. Niall has said this before. A lot gets lost until you're looking at somebody. Best case scenario in the same room, but if not, if you're looking at them on the computer screen or you're doing Skype or whatever, and you can see nuance and you can see facial expressions, all of a sudden you really get a different kind of an appreciation for who that person is. But there were people that we got off to a tough start, Niall and I, and there were people I think that it became one of those picking sides kind of stupid things, but when the first time we had him on, the response was just ridiculous, because all of a sudden it wasn't just words on a screen. People had an opportunity to see this guy, and it really does change. It changes a lot. It really does. When you get the feeling that you get to know somebody. You can text back and forth a lot, and you really can get to know a lot about a person, but it isn't the same. It really isn't. There is something just different, when you can see somebody. So, I love the idea. I really do. I love it. Now it's just going to be a matter of, number one, getting the technology to a point. I will bring up the weather in New Zealand. We will get to the point where, we can pull that off, because logistically, we just have to figure out the details, because it sounds great, but, do you do it by invite? Can anybody call in? Do we screen people beforehand? Do we limit it to a number, and we do 6 on Monday, and we try to do another 6 on Tuesday. We kind of rotate it through. I don't know. How exactly it takes shape is going to be interesting to see. But hey, I've been sober since Saturday, so there's that. I opened up to the woman I love about my stuff. Between us, it was hard. You know what? Proud of you, guy. Really proud of you. Proud of you too, Jason. The personal part of conversation is what tells all. He's trying to get out of showing me a picture. Yeah, Jason. Yeah, we're proud of you. We really are. It's not always easy to keep promises. It's tough, but you just keep, getting up and dusting yourself off is really kind of what it's about. Because very few cats get it on the first time. Very, very few cats get it the first time. You said ZI instead of Xi instead of I? Yeah, I don't know what that one is. Sorry. Okay. So if we got people out there that again, you got ideas for how that kind of thing can be put together, reach out. You're probably better reaching out to Mark than reaching out to me, because I don't understand any of that stuff. I like the concepts, and I can sort of, I can tell Mark what I'm trying to get done, but he understands how to actually take that and then, through application, make it happen. But I love it. I love the idea. And you're right. It takes a very, very long, large weight off of the creativity part of this. Mark will post a link and a queue will form, and he will let people in as he decides to. It's not a difficult process, tech-wise. Excellent. Again, I'm so stuffed up. Again, I know nothing about it. So if it's if it's that easy a process, that's great. If it's something that Mark can just sort of knock out and get set up in a short period of time, I think that would be great. Oh, the guy, you had a stuffed up ear. That's one of those things that literally drives me insane. When one side is clogged or plugged. Oh, Lord, I hate that. And yeah, that sounds good. When these people sort of get into this queue you're talking about, so let's say it's Mark or whoever, right, is sort of the gatekeeper on that. Are they looking at this person? You understand the question I'm asking? So let's say you showed up right now and I'm the gatekeeper. The two of us are talking. Can I then, shoot you off after I've already looked at you or what? Patricia Mabu. Hi from Louisiana. I'm so late. Sorry. What? I love Louisiana. New Orleans is one of my favorite places on planet Earth. Absolutely love New Orleans. I really do. Patricia, yeah, welcome home. We're glad you're here. We really are. And a little late. It's never that big a deal. We're here. I was going to say we're always here. If I'd said that any other time other than tonight. Tomorrow night we probably are not going to have a show because I will be somewhere else and Mark is on vacation. Maria, also from Louisiana. Awesome. Got a lot of people from Louisiana on the boat tonight. There is a Discord. Is there a Discord channel yet? The whole Discord thing, I've actually been playing with, not the tech part of it. Someone else is doing that, but I'm looking into Discord a lot. I don't think it's a good, brilliant, great idea. We should set up a group chat, something with free calls. So Major, you're saying that's a bad idea or a good idea? I'm lost. It's similar to a link that is posted in the chat room. You do not become online immediately, but Mark will see who is willing to go live and let one or two more in. Okay. Oh, the Major says, I do. No, you think it's a brilliant idea. I got you. Yeah, I do too. I truthfully love the idea. And I don't know if it's, a 7-day a week thing, but it's definitely something that would really benefit the boat. It really, really would. And, we're at a stage where we can still pull it off. And I do think it's a great idea. And we talked about it. We had a 6-person call once with Lady Fiona Crispin was on, Miss V was on. I'm trying to think of who else was there that day. I know Cindy was there. Hermit Hill, Kentucky was there. Yeah, it was a good one. Can I wear a paper bag over my head? I'd go with 2. You know what I mean? What if one rips or falls off? It's no good. It's definitely a 2-bagger kind of situation here. Poor Tommy has no idea what Discord is. No, look, I understand the concept, but it's confusing as hell to me. It really is. But I do understand the concept. Oddly enough, my daughter is sort of brought me up to speed on Discord servers because that's something she and her generation are really, really into. Now, the nuts and bolts of it? No. People, I got to hit the sack. 40 foot, it was really good to see you. God bless you too, man. I hope you're feeling better, But great to see you. Really great to see you. I don't think I can Yeah, I don't think I can break down for you people just how little of any of this stuff I get. You know, I say this stuff all the time, and I think you guys think I'm joking or I'm blowing it out of proportion. But with the exception of staring at that right there and talking into this thing, that's pretty much as far as I've gotten with the whole technology thing. Discord goes into the wall. See that? The Major has it figured out. Well played. Yeah, well played. Full cup of water, according to Seventh Son. 12 ounces of water, knock out a headache 90% of the time. I believe is what he said. And I don't know if that's true, but I feel like drinking water probably, it's rarely a bad idea. You know, it's just one of those things. The Major, is your Anki gone wonky? I don't know. So hell, that would make a great t-shirt. Is your anchor gone wonky? Okay, so tomorrow I am. I may pop on for a live for a very short period of time because it will really bother the people that I'm around, and that's always fun. It's nothing to be afraid of. Mark will sort it out. Mark will sort it out. A link in chat to a possible live appearance. He will have control. Enjoy your time away. Thank you. Be a couple of days. Tomorrow and Saturday. Yep, will be the 2 days off. I am, if at all, especially like on flying back, anytime I'm able to go live in an airport, I really love to do it because it just really makes everybody in the airport angry. The only thing that makes people more angry than that is going live in an airplane. They go nuts if you go live in an airplane. And I'll tell you, this is a true story, people. If when you're flying on an airplane, the absolute last thing in the world you want is for anybody on there to know that you do anything on YouTube. I don't know what it is. I really don't. But if you're on a plane and someone says, "What do you do for work?" and you say, "I break people's fingers for money," you will be treated better than if you say, I do something on YouTube. For real. Like I watched a situation where someone with a very large YouTube channel told a woman on an airplane that's what he did because he was on the keyboard looking some stuff up, and she got up and like located to a different seat. It's one of the funniest things ever. I laughed for about an hour. Thank you, Joanna. Appreciate that. Thank you, Miss V. Appreciate that too. I do need a couple of days off, and I'm really looking forward to seeing my daughter. This is going to be, by about this time tomorrow. I think she'll already have done the whole cap and gown thing, and she will have matriculated into the world of adulthood or something like that. I mean, high school will be over anyway. Niall, I really will definitely try to do that because it really does chap the backsides of everybody all over the place. And one of my favorite things to do. The airport is never happy about it either. Like I've had them come over and tell me you can't broadcast live from an airport. I'm like, what? Why the hell not? You know what I mean? Like that doesn't make any sense to me. And they're like, I'm sorry, you can't do that. I can do a Skype though with a friend, right? Well, what if I Skype with a friend and he goes live with it? It just seems kind of stupid to me. I am taxman from the government, and I'm here to help you. Scariest words in the English language. Yep, scariest words in the English language. Yep. So I will make a concentrated effort to do that. Thank you so much, Pamela. That's awfully kind. I really appreciate that. And for a lot of you, if you've been on the boat a really long time, you probably remember my daughter. She used to pop onto live feeds now and then. I kind of begged her to stop because it was right around that crazy time, and then there were people sending her pictures, and just the cyberspace can be a really, really ugly place from time to time. But every once in a while, she still pops into the chat. If I don't think she would be willing to get on the air, but I promise people it may be a real short, but I'll put something up tomorrow. You see, I've got this thing going where there have been so few days that the lifeboat didn't do something that I kind of like to sort of keep that thing going. She has a unique name, right? Cedar. Kind of a unique name. The lifeboat has to do with the T word. Don't want people going live and yelling, that probably makes more sense than anything else. Seventh Son. Really does. I love cheddar. Sharper the better. True story. Serious side note. Buy all the canned goods, rice, etc. you can, because, stuff is coming. You know what? You're not alone in your belief of that. I'm hearing that from all kinds of people, and certainly the price of petrol has become frighteningly high, and that trickles down into every other aspect of life, your food. Once you start to raise that price, then the price of everything else goes up, because you can't really get it to places without some petrol. So make sure you stock up. Lots of water. Good call. I love that I'm into uniqueness and originality. Can't go wrong with uniqueness or originality. Yeah. We're going into hyperinflation. Now, I'll be honest with you. I won't comment too much on that because it could be misconstrued as political of some kind. But I think I see a change in you in the last hour. Hope and fun and message and all of that. What it is to be the captain. Room for all of it. Nice. Thank you, Niall. Yeah, thank you. This started... no, Joanna. Stop. There's no sorry required. What I'm saying is this. I would love to weigh in on that. I really would. I would love to do 4 shows in a row and let you know my political stance on everything. But it would not be a good idea. I'm not apolitical, I assure you. I am more opinionated than anybody on the planet. There are very few things out there I don't have an opinion on. It's just one of those things. Love, love, love to all of you and yours. Thank you. Fugal fam love. Yeah, we have mad love for the Fugal fam. And if you're paying attention, that's a place that can tell you everything you need to know and can help you get prepared as well. You can also, we've got a crew member on this boat, right? Rip Curl Readiness. If you've never been over there, Rip, he's got some really great advice and just a great guy. We've done, I think, 3, right? We've done 3. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Rip has been on 3 times and just been really great every time. Just a really, really good guy. Yes, we do have mad love for Fugal fam. Been a member since the beginning. Yeah, no, Fugal's great. Mark Fugal is great. Good night, everyone. Jason, so glad you're here, bud. I really am. You have a good night, too. Give that little girl a hug and a kiss. All right, people. You know what time it is, don't you? All right. It is kind of that time, right? I know the only reason you stick around for an entire hour, see, the key to the cat in the basket is it keeps people from bailing too early because the show ain't over until the fat kitty sings. So, thanks everybody. Between now and the next time we see each other, reach out and try to save somebody. I am Captain Tommy Scoville. And this is a cat in the basket. Let me see, huh? No, she's out. All righty, people. God bless. See you soon.